Hi, I missed some spot time. I have an LT1 8-speed harness that just finished up. Try to do a good overview here. It's kind of a long-looking harness, but it's due to the way it just lays out. It's pretty clean on the engine itself. As you see, this entire bank too, all you have are your coils. On this side you have your coils, and this comes down along the front of the engine. And we kept all this mostly factory because we're using electric power steering, and kept the AC, knock sensor, all that stuff. So it's going to be a real nice setup. It's going on I believe a 72 C10. Back here you can see your 8L90 connection, get your rear O2s. This kind of flips down the block right here, and it has your starter, your crank sensor, knock sensor. And what's going to happen here in this area, it's going to go inside the C10, and we have about 4 feet of length to play with. And this has everything I offer. It has the entire computer package. Everything's programmed to a 2017 LT1 T7A computer programmed Camaro fuel pressure control module. It includes the fuel harness, so this will connect to your GM fuel pump, and includes the low pressure sensor that goes in line. You just have to have all these parts to make it work correctly. And there's not too many connections down here you actually hook up, just ignition, get your fan signal, your starter solenoid right there. So you put power to that wire, that will crank the starter over. AC compressor power to turn the compressor on, and a brake wire. And I also include fuel level. So if you get Dakota digital gauges, you can just hook a wire up to that and it'll show fuel level. Because you'd need to use a factory GM Gen 5 fuel pumps if you're using the fuel pressure control module, in my opinion. And that's because there's still actually factory Gen 5 pump is still regulated. It's a bypass valve at 75 pounds of pressure. When I tested on a standard in-tank pump, like an Aeromotive pump, it would spike up to like 100 pounds of pressure and would mess everything up. So what I found out is this module is doing the best it can, but it's such a quick change. When you go wide open throttle, it's going to take a little bit of time for it to build that pressure, and it sends max voltage to your pump to make that pressure. Well, it sends max voltage, and then you don't have a regulator in your system. It will hit 100 pounds of pressure. It then sees that, kills a bunch of power to your fuel pump to pull that pressure back down, and now your fuel pressure is going crazy. So definitely use a GM pump, or use a regulator that you can regulate at 75 pounds of pressure, because basically that'll work as a bypass. Since it's so high up, the module should work fine with a standard aftermarket pump. But once it hits 75 pounds of pressure, it's going to start returning it to the tank. But that's kind of untested. On a setup like this, I really recommend using the GM fuel pump. A couple reasons: they're pretty affordable, they're made to last a long time, and they're insanely quiet. You can't hear these pumps, and they obviously support the power. Here's a overview of the system. You see all the heat protection, everything like this. This harness is going to last a very long time. Cool, thanks for watching.